We are not doctors. Nothing in this podcast should be taken as medical advice. Consult your physician before starting any workout routine. This is the Martial Heart Podcast.
Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome back. And it is September 10th, 2024, I think, isn't it? Yes, September 10th, 2024. And this is my update on, hey, we got to have a heart attack and now we're trying to recover. So yesterday I had my first real cardiac rehab appointment. So here's what that entails. So essentially you show up and you sit through a 15-minute educational thing on, health, fitness, things like that, taking care of yourself. And pretty much it is basically designed for people who have no idea what they're doing when it comes to health and fitness or, diet, exercise, and things like that. It was very basic about, caloric deficits. And, hey, if you want to lose weight, you have to use more calories than you're taking in every day. And if you're going to gain weight, guess what? You have to use fewer calories than what you're taking in every day. There's some stuff about bone density and resistance exercises, resistance workouts, using weights, different things like that. Hey, there's a train going by. This will be a good test to see if you guys can hear it. It's blowing its whistle. I don't know. I don't think I can hear it in the headphones, but anyhow, that's the wizardry of modern audio equipment. I can manipulate things in my environment so that you can't hear even a train going by that's blowing its whistle. It's pretty cool. Anyway, so you sit through that class, and it's going to be a different class. They're going to cover a whole bunch of different topics over this 36 appointment long thing. And then you walk around a track as a warm-up lap. And then they had me, this is my first time doing it, so they had me get on a treadmill for 15 minutes, and then I did an exercise bike for 15 minutes. And I forget the name of the exercise bike, but it's the kind that you sit on and it moves your arms as well. You're going back and forth with your arms while you pedal. So I did that. But 15 minutes on the treadmill, they had me walking at a 20-minute pace, 20-minute mile, which is fairly slow. My heart rate peaked around 87 beats per minute while doing that. So then when they transitioned me over to the exercise bike, my heart rate went up to about 101. So not really taxing, not really getting in a cardio workout, just sort of getting the blood flowing, getting the heart moving. So the first few appointments are going to be very low risk exercise like that. It's going to be, on the treadmill, on a bike, not, trying to sprint or anything. I'm just going to be walking at a steady pace and biking at a steady pace. And they tell you what your pace should be. And they have a little reading thing on there. It says, try to keep it in this range. And they're looking for your heart rate target. For me, they said my heart rate target is between 106 and 125, I think. That's what their target is for me. Either, I'm not sure if it's for the entire thing or if it's just for this week, or the first week, or second week, the first few appointments. I don't know if that's going to gradually increase. But that's what they told me yesterday. That's my target, 106 to 125. So we were kind of close to hitting, beginning to hit my target today. It wasn't really, I didn't really break a sweat or anything, so it wasn't difficult exercise. It was very mild. But again, they're trying to gauge where I am in my recovery and how it feels. So only probably somebody who's had a heart attack and probably had a stent procedure, an angio, will be able to answer this question because it's different for everyone. But for me, it felt like scratching in my chest. in different places. It wasn't just like in one spot. So it was kind of weird. And I don't know if that's the blood going through the veins that were worked on. I always thought veins and arteries didn't have nerve endings, so you shouldn't feel things. But I don't know if you can feel differences in the blood flow through them. But it felt almost like scratches. Just mild scratching, not like a constant ripping, but just like a inside in different points inside my chest, and it was just a little strange. I didn't really have the shortness of breath. I didn't have any increased chest pressure or chest pain, but I felt that scratching, and I had the normal chest pressure that I've had for the last few days and the last few weeks now, but nothing new in that regard. The exercise bike is really uncomfortable. I have a bony ass, and the thing was no fun to sit on at all. So I'm going to pick a different one next time. So, that's where that goes. Otherwise, it was okay. I mean, you do that. Well, I guess I skipped a part. When you get there, you sit down, they take your blood pressure, then you put on your heart monitor. Then you go do these things because they're monitoring your heart throughout the entire process. And then after you do your exercising, you take a lap or two, cool down lap, which it didn't really need to cool down, but it felt good to keep walking. So I walked 2 laps. Everybody else just walked 1, and they were waiting for me. So I don't know if I screwed up and I should only do 1, because I don't like it when I show up there and you walk around and everybody's just sitting there waiting. So I feel like I was inconveniencing people. So I'll do 1 lap next time. But then you sit down, they take your blood pressure again. You do some cool down stretching. We did anyway. I did with my therapist. I don't know if the other guys did. It's my class, it's all men, all older gentlemen, as they say. I don't know how old they are. They appear to be older than me, but that doesn't say much. Because it's really hard for me to gauge how old people are these days. They could be younger than me for all I know. But it was just us. There's 3 of us. And so I didn't see them doing any stretching, but I stretched because my therapist said, hey, let's do some cool down stretching. So I did it. Okay. Then they have you take your heart monitor off and you just kind of sign out and go on about your business, and it took off. So today I'm supposed to go again today, but I have the cardiologist appointment, so I'm probably not going to make it because they're going to overlap, and you only start so late in the evening because those people have to go home too. So it's kind of, if you show up late, you can't do it. So I'm probably not going to make it today, and so the next one would be Thursday. So maybe tomorrow I would work out at home in the evening, perhaps, like right around the time that I would be doing my cardiac rehab or something. Maybe I'll start doing that. When I do work out at home, I'll stay on the same schedule. But it wasn't too difficult. I'm sure the difficulty is going to increase gradually as we go along, because they're going to need to challenge my heart and find out where I am. I don't think they're going to have me running because I don't think I can run anyway. So who knows? My knees and my hip, I might not get too far. But I've really been thinking about trying to jog eventually, maybe a few weeks from now. We'll see if I'm capable of doing that. So the other big thing that I didn't actually talk about yet is, for those of you who know me in real life, you know that I smoked, and I smoked for over 40 years. I've been a smoker since I was 15 or 16 years old. And even though I had tried to quit a couple times, I did quit a couple times briefly and then start smoking again. It's been like the one habit that I've never been able to break. But for the last couple of years, I've been taking it seriously, trying to quit. So I was gradually cutting down. I was on the medicine that's supposed to take away your cravings, so on and so forth. And we were at the place where the only decision that needed to be made was, this is my quit day. And I hadn't made that decision yet because I don't know. Hey, I'm an addict and I really liked smoking. So I will tell everyone on the planet, not good. Smoking's not good. You shouldn't do it. And we've made sure our kids understood that, and that it's an addiction that's hard to break. And, they say it's just as hard as to kick as heroin, I guess. But I quit the day I went to the emergency room with a heart attack. So it was a convenient place to decide, hey, this is my quit day. So I actually threw a cigarette onto the ground and got into the car and was driven to the emergency room. And that was my last cigarette. And I haven't had one since. So that was August 11th. So it's coming up on a month. 1 month cigarette-free, smoke-free, nicotine-free. Really, I didn't. They offered at the hospital, you want some patches or some gum or something like that to help you get through it. And I said no. So I'm doing okay. It's very hard because over the course of 40 years, you build these habits of, I'm going to get a cup of coffee in the morning, go sit on the back porch, let the dogs out, and have a cigarette while I have my morning coffee. Or, wow, I just had dinner. It's time to go outside and, let the dogs out. Letting the dogs out was a really good excuse to go outside and smoke because I didn't smoke inside. So I would go outside, and when I went outside, the dogs would always want to go with me. So that was my excuse. I have to let the dogs out. So I would let the dogs out and let them run around in the yard so I could smoke. And it was terrible. Those things are the hardest things to break. So, and it was always confusing for people because it was such a contradiction, because I had always tried to be a healthy person, exercised, and worked out all the time and was doing all this physical activity. But I also had this really, really bad habit that I smoked. So now I don't. Now I'm cigarette free, but I really wish I was having a cigarette right now, actually. But the craving is the worst part. The nicotine is supposed to be completely out of my system by now because, after about 14 days, it's completely gone. So there's no more nicotine in my system controlling what I'm doing. So right now, it is strictly the habit that has been formed over the course of 40 years of, this is when I should be having a cigarette right now. And I'm going to go out and have a cigarette right now because it's like a timing thing. It's like your body understands, this is when I need to go have a cigarette because this is when I normally would go have a cigarette. And you get those attacks, I guess you could call them. You get those. It just hits you. You open the refrigerator and you grab something and it triggers you and you're like, wow, I should go have a cigarette. But then you're like, wait, I forgot I don't smoke anymore because I had a heart attack. Anyway, so, my loved ones are very proud of that. They're not proud of the fact that it took a heart attack to get me to stop, but they're proud of the fact that I quit smoking, and I'm pretty proud of that too. Like I said, it was kind of an embarrassment that it was so hard for me to quit. I've always been hey, you just got to be determined, and you can, if you work at it and work hard, you can get it done. And the one thing I couldn't get done was quit smoking. So I got that done. And so, hey, a heart attack, they say it's going to take 8 years off your life. Maybe quitting smoking added 5 years to my life. I don't know. Maybe if I exercise enough, I'll break even on this deal. Who knows? We'll see. I guess only time will tell. So that's going to be it for today. And I appreciate everyone listening. And I'm going to let you listen to this outro music for a little bit while I sign off. But the new backdrop, let me know what you think. This is all stuff that I had around the house anyway. It's my stuff. So no real investment. And, let me know. I don't know. It might be cool. It might be not. Who knows? But until next time, everybody, take care. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. Eat right and exercise. And go see your doctor.